Hey everyone, it's your favorite policy and research analyst Hannah Williams with Mississippi Votes, and today we are actually going to be talking about our origin story. Superheroes have origin stories. We have an origin story too. So I bet you're wondering, what is Mississippi Votes? How did Mississippi Votes get started? Where did Mississippi Votes come from? Just a bunch of questions about our organization. Well, I'm going to fill you in and give you guys some insight on what is Mississippi Votes. Now, before I get started, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every time we post a video from this channel. Mississippi Votes was founded in 2016 by a group of students who were actually doing a project to try to, see why certain people in certain places in Mississippi voted a certain way, or lack thereof in this particular case. And through their research, they found a number of things. One, that the electorate isn't usually engaged in certain areas of this state. They're completely skipped. Two, there are actually a lot of people who are registered to vote but have no type of education about what is even happening in the elections. And three, there was a very wide range of new first-time voters who were eligible to register and actually participate in the electoral process, who had also never been engaged or lacked the understanding of what was happening in politics to even want to be engaged. So from 2016 on to now, the organization went through a couple of changes, and it went from being a student project to a passion project to actually getting funding and being registered as a 501c3 so that it could operate as a nonprofit, to where it is now. Okay, we basically center ourselves around youth civic engagement on a large scale in a way that hasn't been seen in the state of Mississippi in a very, very long time. Okay, our whole entire core to our being is making sure we're engaging the entire state and bringing forth a transformic way to engage the electorate and push them forward in the state of Mississippi, whether we're having an election year or not, which is the biggest and one of the most overlooked things that a lot of these other organizations are doing, is only engaging people when there's election coming up, when actually people need to be engaged all the time in the state of Mississippi to understand how their voice in politics works and can work. So now that Mississippi Votes is in the year 2020, I'm gonna break down some of our programs and areas and our areas of expertise and who's actually involved with Mississippi Votes. So I'm gonna start with our youth civic engagement program, which has a plethora of fellowships and opportunities for young people to be engaged. Starting with our youngest program, or youngest age range program, is our Youth Advisory Council, which consists of high school students from the congressional districts, and basically we just give them the materials to host democracy classes and be able to spread information to kids in their age ranges at their high schools about what they might not learn in their government class in terms of being politically active. A lot of people don't know, but you can actually register to vote at 17 and a half. So using this as a tool to get in contact with students who are already in high school and getting ready to become adults or young adults or big people, to get them involved in the political scene around them is also important. Also, we don't only focus on just high school juniors and seniors. This information is also important to high school kids because they take this information home and they engage their parents. They have political conversations with their parents, and when you become a certain age and you have kids, it's important to note that you're no longer voting for yourself. You're also voting for the future of your children. We also have the Emerging Leaders Fellowship, which is for people who have not had a traditional educational experience and want to get their feet wet in organizing on whatever spectrum it is. Whether you want to get your feet dirty and be in the field, or get your hands dirty. Whether you want to get your hands dirty and be in the field, whether you want to learn how to organize virtually and do communications, whether you want to understand policy making and how that even works, that is an opportunity that we offer our emerging fellows. They get to not only potentially follow us around the office and see what we do on a day-to-day basis, but they also get to be an active part and have an active voice in what is going on in the changing scene around us. Another one of our fellowships is the Democracy in Action Fellowship, which is our biggest and most wide range fellowship that we have and offer at Mississippi Votes. So this fellowship is geared towards college students, where we take students from each campus, and not only do we give them the tools and the funding to be able to hold voter registration drives on campus, but we also give them materials and knowledge and whatever else they need to be able to hold these civic engagement forums throughout the entire year on their campus. Not just if there's an election going on that year or if there's just an election going on around them. A lot of the colleges and universities in the state of Mississippi double as voting precincts. Some of them don't, and we are actively working at Mississippi Votes to try to get a precinct on every single college campus in the state of Mississippi. We make sure that they have the tools to be able to educate their peers in a way that they understand, and just trying to help the college kids be civically engaged as well. Another fellowship we have is the One Girl, One Vote Fellowship, okay? So this is for female identifying individuals who want to learn about policy. We give these young people the opportunity to not only learn about policy making, go to the Capitol, tour the Capitol, get in contact with legislators and work hand in hand with legislators, but we also teach them how to run a campaign if they so choose. We give them all the tools to be able to excel politically in their own right, wherever they are, wherever they're from, because you don't have to be from Mississippi to participate in the One Girl, One Vote fellowship. You just have to be on a college campus in the state of Mississippi. We also do a little focusing on, self-determination and self-awareness even, and your right to take up space. We do a lot of confidence building activities and skills as well, and it's, personally, it's one of my favorite fellowships because it's like having a bunch of little sisters just constantly in the office asking you for help with things. So yeah, those are the ways you can get involved with Mississippi Votes on the fellowship level. And we also have voter services. So what voter services does is basically, voter suffrage work. We as in me, make sure that people who aren't normally engaged because they are assumed that they are disenfranchised, we make sure that they know that they have a right to vote. This goes for our returning citizens, our pretrial detainees. We do a lot of work around them to make sure, this is your information, these are your rights, these are the things that you have access to, and that no one can deny them. Most importantly, no one can deny your right to vote if you're eligible to. We sign people up to register, just an all-around workforce and helping force, and we walk you through the entire process. And even when people come in and have regular questions, like literally people walk into our office all the time asking questions, we'll help you find your polling precinct, we'll help you find your registration form, make sure that you are registered, to verify that you're registered, who your circuit clerk is. We do all of that to make sure that you know where you're supposed to go, where you're supposed to be, who you're supposed to be in contact with, and who you can call when you need help, past the extent of Mississippi Votes, in terms of what needs to happen to make sure you can cast your ballot. We also have volunteer services. So our volunteer program is super huge. We have a huge base at Mississippi Votes, and we love each and every one of you and are definitely appreciative to everyone who wants to help out with Mississippi Votes. But our volunteer services program basically includes people who also want to get their feet wet or help with organizing efforts. We have a huge base. You sign up, we keep you involved and informed the entire time. We need help from things like phone banking to actual canvassing, to even in the midst of COVID-19, just people posting flyers for us on social media so we can reach as many people as possible. Things like that. There are just tons of things that our voter services people get to do and have, you know, exclusive access to. You know, you can always come to the office, you can always sign up. If you're a college student, we do give you community service hours. We are listed in all the community service departments and all of the colleges and universities across the state of Mississippi, so you can definitely come and get your community service hours with us. No, we don't just have people typing on computers and filing things. We actually have people that are in the field working alongside us, and we also host tons and tons and tons of trainings, so that even if you I don't know, can't volunteer with us because we're in Jackson, but you still want to volunteer with Mississippi Votes, we give you the tools to be able to go into your community and help organize for us. And that is also a major part of Mississippi Votes, and a major part that needs shouting out in terms of Mississippi Votes, because a lot of the work we do could not be even possible without the people on the ground that believe in what we believe in and want to engage the people the way we want to engage the people. So thank you to all the people who are involved with Mississippi Votes in the volunteer services program. Also, people in volunteer services have, you know, access to be able to do other things. We have college students that start off in volunteer services and end up snagging one of our fellowships. So you never know. I mean, I'm not saying you could, I'm just saying you could be a volunteer one day and have a whole job the next day. It's just, you know what I'm saying, it's up to you. What do you want to do? All right, the very last branch of Mississippi Votes, which I personally save for last because I saved the best for last, is the Policy and Research Department. Okay, so Policy and Research is me. I'm the analyst. So basically what I do is not only is voter services a part of what I do, but my main priority is organizing around the legislative session and all things policy and all things education and policy. So basically I write policy briefs, I monitor policies that Mississippi Votes is interested in. Ordinarily I will be taking students to the Capitol to meet with legislators. I have relationships with legislators to, you know, kind of have like inside information about what is going to hit the floor, what dies, what moves on, you know, all those types of things. I help with the One Girl, One Vote fellows in terms of them being involved with the Mississippi legislature. And I also, I'm doing census work right now because, you know, census and policy and, you know, congressional districts and redistricting all kind of go together. So, you know, if you see anything about the census on Mississippi Votes page, 9 times out of 10, I'm the one that, you know, designed it or whatever, because yeah, you know, we gotta keep people informed about the census. So I've been doing a lot of work around that, making sure people understand what it is, why it is, when it is, and how to even fill out your census form, your questionnaire, all the many different ways you can fill it out over the phone, on the internet, in person, all of those different ways. So I do a lot of work around the census right now. I also do a lot of research. I do a lot of research in terms of how other states have had access or lack thereof with certain not political agendas, but like policy agendas, like, you know, voting by mail and all types of voter expansion things. I also do research in terms of the historical aspect of the state of Mississippi, areas that have historically been disenfranchised or been suppressed in terms of voting, and the type of people there, and how we could best spread our message of getting people to the polls, and just all types of things. You know, what works best for this area, what has been responsive, what hasn't been responsive. I know a lot of people in rural Mississippi don't trust people knocking at their front door, and would rather trust the information from other people in their community, okay? And that's all part of the research. So yeah, I do lots of researching and lots of analyzing policy. I mean, you know, the description is in the title, okay? So that is pretty much everything about Mississippi Votes that you need to know. Oh my gosh. If you have questions, you can always hit us up at info@mississippivotes.org. Okay, you can, and that's msvotes.org. You can find us. You can also reach out to us and find us at msvotes.org, like the website. We're on all social media platforms as MS Votes, except for Facebook, it's at Mississippi spelled out votes. Yeah, I hope this video was informative and you learned something about Mississippi Votes. We are a super small staff, but we are expanding, and honestly, being in this fight and having people believe in us, including the ones watching this video, are why we are even here and continuing to do the work. So thank you so much. All right, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. This is your second reminder, okay, to subscribe. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. Hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every time we post a video on this channel, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.